Hey, welcome to Paternal Family History, Part 3. In our last episode, we talked about Peter Strutman. Now, I'm gonna focus on his wife, Mina. It's perfectly natural. Anyways, she came from farming roots, and it must have been pretty enterprising because she would manage to attract the son of a wealthy innkeeper. And family prominence was important back then. Let's face it, still is today. Not everybody could be part of the 1%. And the difference today is that people would have looked down on a farmer because they can't relate to anyone who's different from them. They live in the city and they don't understand what that person has gone through during their life, and they would never have accepted them. And, you know, would have treated them poorly. So 101 days after the death of Peter Stratman, his wife, went to her grave as well. And some say that it could have been plague related, but I think she died of a broken heart. And their possessions were all sold off. And their kids, two boys, two girls, were farmed out to relatives. And the girls did fairly well, but the boys, the families that they were sent to, spent all their inheritance money that they were supposed to save for them when they got older. And there was a fair amount of resentment over it. You can imagine family reunions. Hey, remember that time you spent all our money? Yeah, yeah, it didn't go over very well. And there might have been some tension between the brothers and the sisters as well. I mean, you can imagine they would go to events in horse-drawn carriages, and the guys would have ridden up with their shabby old horses, and you could notice the difference, and the children and of those boys and their children's children, they all remember that, and today they're still ticked off. Let me tell you. And I just want to forget about all that because I wasn't involved in it at all. Thank goodness. And I want to talk about my grandmother's aunt, Anna. Now, she married a bit of a rascal, let me tell you. And she had a large dowry. And, some say the bigger the better, but she should have went for a guy who, you know, thought the size didn't matter. Because he had a really good time spending all her money. Now, you know, after a while though, he started writing checks that were made of rubber, if you know what I mean. And he wanted to get away from all that by immigrating to the States. And all the Americans that are out there are like, thank God they stopped him because of his legal problems. We don't want that kind of person around here. And, I don't blame them because, I wouldn't want that kind of person in my country either. You know, but, eventually things worked out, which is good, but it took a while. I'm going to stop it for today. I guess the moral of the story is don't judge a book by its cover unless that book doesn't have any money, I guess. you know. All right. Sayonara.